Ever wondered if an old, rusty propane tank could power your home when the grid goes down? 3 weeks with no electricity is enough to drive anyone crazy. But what if the solution was lying forgotten in your own backyard? Stick around, because I'm about to show you how a junk propane tank turned into a $50 powerhouse and kept my home running when everything else went dark. Now, before we get into the weeds of how a rusty old propane tank wound up saving my bacon, let me remind you, if you like learning about these unusual real-life economic experiments, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. Every week we dive deep into something seemingly boring, and I promise there's always more than meets the eye. So let's rewind. My story starts in the kind of way only bad weather power goes out can cause. You hear the wind howling, power goes out, your phone. You hear the wind howling, trees creaking, your entire neighborhood seems to go silent. Battery, and the entire neighborhood seems to go silent. It was a snapped power line after one wild thunderstorm. It was a snapped power line. Sitting in the kitchen, looking out at the dark, and I realize instantly, looking out at the dark, there's no end in sight. And I realize instantly, the first hour is an inconvenience. There's no end in sight. The third hour becomes the first hour is an inconvenience. By day 3, the third hour I'm rationing cans of beans and regretting every time I skip buying cans of beans and regretting. Most people in that situation just wait it out, but that's where my junk propane tank comes in. See, I'd been meaning to get rid of it for months. It sat behind my shed, getting rustier every year, completely empty, out of certification, and not exactly pretty to look at. Normally, you'd take this thing to the recycling center, but necessity breeds creativity. I started thinking, how many people have things lying around their yard they just consider trash? Is there a way to turn this thing into something new? A backup power solution? What's funny is that propane tanks, even out of certification, even out of pressure-rated containers you can get, some of the toughest. They're built to pressure-rated containers. Most folks overlook them. They're built to last. If you know what to look for, most folks overlook them. They're the unsung hero of off-grid hacks. They're the unsung hero of off-grid hacks. It wasn't safe to just start tinkering without knowing what was inside. It wasn't safe to just start tinkering without knowing what was inside. Step 1 is always to make sure the thing is 100% Step 1 is always to make sure the thing is 100% empty. You don't want surprise propane coming at you. Trust me, you try cutting it. You don't want surprise propane. With plenty of ventilation and open air, I loosened the valve until I was sure nothing was left. Until I was sure anybody was left. No matter what you turn this tank into, safety always comes first. No matter what you turn this tank into, safety always comes first. Took a turn most wouldn't expect. Here's where things took a turn most for storing fuel. Nope, I didn't use this tank for storing fuel. It became the heart of a biogas digester. It became the heart of a biogas digester. But basically, it means this old propane tank became a little plant that ate kitchen scraps and yard clippings and yard clippings. And I'd read about simple biogas reactors, but always assumed you needed some biogas reactors. But always assumed you needed some huge farm or patience and a little bit of backyard ingenuity. With patience, you can make a small-scale digester that just works. You can make a small-scale digester that just works. And if you're creative, building the digester wasn't rocket science, but it did get building the digester wasn't rocket science, but the smell of decaying kitchen waste isn't exactly pleasant. The smell of decaying kitchen waste I was running out of options. Pleasant. And 3 days into the blackout, I was running out of options. My inspiration was running high. 3 days into the blackout, my inspiration was running high. First, I cleaned out the inside of the tank as best I could. Let's face it, this would be storing a very different kind of fuel. Let's face it, this would be storing a very near the top fuel, just about big enough to fit some pipe. I cut an opening near the top, in a simple connector, big enough to fit some pipe. For those without a welder, you could make it work with strong epoxy. For those without a welder, you could make it work with strong epoxy. Just make sure everything is super tight. Threaded fittings. No leaks. Just make sure everything is super tight. Well, no leaks. Just say because you don't want surprises there either. Well, let's just say you don't want surprises there either. Fuel. People forget how much kitchen waste they throw out in a week. Coffee grounds, potato peels, stale bread. Add in some grass clippings for good measure. By layering those scraps, a little water, and then sealing the tank up, you create a perfect little ecosystem for bacteria to go to work. It doesn't take long before those bacteria start munching away. It doesn't take long before those bacteria start munching away and making a tank that was built to handle methane. Trapped in a tank that gas built a small camping stove, and pretty soon pipe that gas flame small camping stove, and pretty soon after 4 days, blue flame was back in action. Even colder beans. After 4 days, you'd be amazed what a hot meal does for your spirit. You'd be amazed what a hot meal does for your spirit. The next challenge was seeing just how far this $50 thing actually helped run the house for weeks. And what else did I learn along the way that most folks never realize? And what else did I learn along the way that most folks never realize? Until they've once I got the little propane tank biogas system running. Once I got the little propane tank biogas system running. Hope. I felt something I hadn't felt quite like flicking on a stove burner in the middle of a blackout. There's nothing quite like flicking on a stove burner in the middle of a blackout. Realizing you did it with nothing but a pile of so-called trash. And realizing you did it with nothing but a pile of so-called trash. It was about staying functional. It wasn't just about feeling like you had some say in your own survival. Feeling like you had some say in your own survival. That old propane tank turned out to be tougher and more useful than most conventional fixes. Turned out to be tougher and more useful than most conventional fixes. Now, I know what some folks are probably thinking. Now, okay, I know what some folks are probably thinking. Okay, but can you really break it down? Power isn't just about running your house like the grid is on. Power isn't just about the ability to get done the things you need to do. It's about the ability to get done the things you need to do. Cook, heat, my little digester didn't make my fridge hum. My little digester didn't make my fridge hum food and power every gadget. But it did put hot food. You'd be surprised how much you can get by with when you're willing to simplify. You'd be surprised how much you can get by with when you're willing to simplify. As soon as the sun was up, every morning I'd gather whatever kitchen scraps as soon as the sun was up. I'd gather whatever kitchen scraps I could that turned brown, leftover coffee grounds, a bit of lettuce that turned brown. I'd chop it all up, leftover coffee tank with a bit of water, and chop it all up tight again. Add it to the tank with a bit of water and seal everything tight again. And come mealtime, there was just enough gas to boil a pot of water or fry up some eggs. On a good day, there was fuel left over for a second meal. None of it felt luxurious, but I never went hungry. The sense of having control over my circumstances was worth every odd smell and awkward tangle with PVC pipe. But I learned fast that power out of a propane tank isn't about brute force. Power out of a propane tank isn't about brute force. The longer the grid stayed down with what you got, let me tell you, 3 weeks is longer than you can ever expect. The more you start making trades in your head. Is it better to use the gas to boil a big batch of pasta for the day now, or spread the fuel out over 2 days and keep meals simple? The way I see it, running a home like this teaches you more about economics than any classroom. Every resource is a decision. Every bit of waste becomes a potential asset. I also realized just how much we all throw away without thinking twice. The tank kept feeding itself because my kitchen kept making garbage. The tank kept feeding itself with the right design. The garbage became something to power me through the blackout. The garbage became something to power me through the blackout. Most people consider the end of the line for their leftovers. What most people consider the end of the line for their leftovers. If you ever wondered about a circular economy or how you don't need a government grant or giant facility. You don't need a government grant. All you need is a busted propane tank. Sometimes all you need is a busted propane tank and a little stubbornness along the way. There were, of course, a few days in, I started noticing less gas production. A few days in, I started noticing less gas production. A better mix of feedstock, more water, a bit of patience. Better mix of feedstock. Sometimes you need to let the bacteria catch up. Sometimes if you're counting on daily gas, there's a rhythm to it. Like if you're counting on daily gas, too dry, not enough gas. Like tending a garden, the tank too dry, not enough gas. The learning curve was real, but after a week of tinkering, I started understanding it reminded me a lot of budgeting along. You keep adjusting. It reminded me a lot of budgets, output, and always adjusting, making sure always planning for some unexpected curveball. Always planning for some unexpected curveball. One thing I hadn't expected, though, was just how much the tank would become the hub of the whole house. Was just how much the tank would start gathering in the kitchen again. Working together on prep. We started sharing stories as we together on prep. We started sharing stories as we chopped and stirred without phones. Isn't it crazy that losing power forced us to regain so much connection? Isn't it crazy that losing power forced us to regain so much connection? Boring old economic basics. The best part of rethinking rebuilding old economic basics is you rebuild how you live together to stove. And so every time I'd see the neighbors walking by, glancing at that every time I'd see the neighbors walking by, glancing at that clunky propane tank, and they didn't know the secret. Finally lost it. I'd smile. Sometimes you need to get a little resourceful, get a little scrappy. Sometimes you need to get a little resourceful, get a little scrappy, and look at what you have in places I'd written off. And soon I found power. Another challenge appeared that made me rethink everything I knew about living without electricity. By the start of the third week, I'll admit, the whole off-grid with a junk propane tank thing had turned into something bigger than just keeping the lights on. Well, keeping the burner on anyway. At first, it was about survival and scratching out a normal routine in the middle of a blackout. But then I started noticing little things, like how, after a while, it wasn't just me riding this wave of makeshift power. It wasn't just me riding this wave of makeshift power, asking how the tank worked. My kids got the little bubbles, asking how the tank worked. My wife, who's always a bit skeptical about my backyard inventions. My wife, who's always a bit skeptical about my backyard inventions, reliable to set up ended up convinced when she saw just how reliable to realize I'd built a little. It didn't take a degree in chemistry to realize I'd built a little. With every potato peel and scoop of leftover spaghetti. With every potato peel and scoop of leftover spaghetti, we needed. The system kept making just enough pressure release valve would pop, reminding me I was messing with real old-school power science. Still, the whole process became a kind of rhythm. Still, every night when other houses on the block went dark and silent. Every night when other houses on the block went dark and silent and activity. Our kitchen became a glowing spot of warmth and activity. We baked bread. It wasn't about excess, soup, but enough. We even managed some hot cocoa on colder nights. All thanks to a tank. Cocoa on colder nights. Someone to haul away. All thanks to a tank. But let's be real. Paid someone to haul away. The system had limits, and that taught me a new kind of respect for energy. The system had limits. In a regular week, a new kind of respect for energy use. In a regular light, you barely think about what you use. Charge your phone, run the microwave, open the fridge. It all just charge your phone, run the microwave. Cutting down to what your homemade powerhouse provides means making choices, using things up, learning to go without, and more importantly, using what you have to its very edge. There's a weird kind of satisfaction in that. It made me think about economics in the most practical, hands-on way. Scarce resources, trade-offs, opportunity costs. It's all textbook stuff, but when you're living it out, the lessons really stick. I did try a couple of experiments during that time. Could I pipe the gas into a tiny heater to warm up one bedroom? Could I pipe the gas into a tiny heater to warm up one bedroom? The answer was kind of. To warm up one bedroom? Through my fuel too fast. The answer was kind of. I learned that direct cooking was a better use. At least I learned that direct cooking was a better use. I also tried using the residue from the digester in our garden beds. I also tried using the residue from the digester in our garden beds. Made a pretty decent compost. Turns out what the bacteria left behind. Not only was I feeding my family, but I ended up giving something back to the backyard. Not only was I feeding my family, but I ended up giving something back to the backyard too. The real kicker is this. The whole setup, the numbers at the end of the blackout included, cost me around $50. Tools and parts included. If I bought a big generator or splurged on backup batteries, if I'd bought a big generator or splurged on backup batteries, and I'd have burned 10 times as much, and I had to recharge something at a place through gasoline, or had to recharge something at a place that the humble biogas tank with its clunky valves, the humble biogas tank with its never needed a single trip to the gas station pipes. It turned trash into fuel every single day. When the power finally came back on, every single day. When the power finally came back on, there was relief, felt sure, but also weird pride. There was relief. I learned not only how to keep going, but how to squeeze value out of things. Not only how to keep going, but how to squeeze value out of things everyone else rusted, unloved. That old propane tank quietly become the star of an entire economic experiment. Had quietly become the star of an entire economic experiment. And the funniest part, my little corner of the world. When the lights came back, and the funniest part, I kept feeding it. Came back, kept running little tests just to see what else was possible. Kept running little tests. I realized this wasn't just a hack for emergencies. I realized this wasn't just a hack kind of emergencies. Homegrown resourcefulness. It was a mind shift easy to forget these days. Homegrown resourcefulness that's easy to forget these days. Here's what I want need anyone watching to take away. A prepper or have fancy tools to create some security for yourself. Or have fancy tools to create some power is sitting in your backyard. Sometimes disguised as junk. Power is sitting in your backyard. All it takes is a new way of looking at what you already have. All it takes is a new way of willingness to get your hands dirty. A bit of patience. So let's wrap up with a big question. Hands dirty. What's lying around your place right now? With a big question. Or what's lying around your place right now? Could be doing more. Or I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me about the best thing you ever repurposed. Drop a comment below and tell me about the best thing you ever repurposed on the cheap. If you're thinking about trying it yourself, anything about the project. If you're thinking about even a little spark of inspiration from my rusty old tank story, do me a favor. From my rusty share this video with someone who needs a little creative jolt. Share this video with someone who needs a little creative jolt. Affordable power solutions. The more we talk about practical, affordable power solutions. Thanks for sticking with me through 3 weeks of blackout, backyard science, and good old-fashioned problem solving. This has been another not so boring economic update, proving yet again there's nothing dull about making your own luck. Don't forget to comment with your own stories or questions. Don't forget to share this with anybody who believes big changes can start. Share this with anybody who believes big changes can start. Until next time, keep your eyes open for hidden value. Until next time, when everything else goes dark, sometimes the solution is right under your nose. Sometimes the solution is right under your nose.